Imagine a world where diseases can be eradicated before birth, where humans can be engineered for enhanced intelligence, strength, and even longevity. This is the promise and challenge of genetic modification in humans. But with such power comes profound ethical questions. Should we be playing with the very fabric of human life? Genetic modification, particularly through techniques like CRISPR, allows scientists to alter DNA sequences in living organisms, including humans. This technology opens the door to curing genetic diseases, improving quality of life, and even changing inherited traits. But it's not without risks. From preventing genetic disorders to enhancing human abilities, genetic modification holds enormous potential. But how do we balance scientific progress with ethical responsibility? The ethical concerns of modifying human genes are vast and complex. One of the primary debates is whether we should be editing genes at all, particularly in humans. Are we overstepping moral boundaries by playing God? Should we be responsible for potentially altering human nature? And if this technology becomes widespread, who will have access? Could it lead to a new form of inequality where only the wealthy can afford genetic enhancements? Germline editing is one of the most contentious areas in genetic modification. It involves editing the DNA in embryos or reproductive cells, meaning these changes are passed down to future generations. It holds the promise of eliminating genetic disorders, but it also carries risks far beyond the individual. These edits are permanent and affect not just one person but potentially entire future generations. What if something goes wrong? The long-term effects are unpredictable. In 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui made headlines when he claimed to have created the world's first genetically edited babies using CRISPR technology. His goal was to make them resistant to HIV. The scientific community was shocked, not only because of the risks but because it crossed a major ethical line. These babies didn't consent, and the long-term consequences of the genetic changes are still unknown. This case underscores why regulation and ethical oversight are critical when dealing with human genetic modification. Despite the ethical concerns, it's important to acknowledge the tremendous benefits genetic modification could offer. Imagine a world free of genetic diseases, where conditions like cystic fibrosis or Huntington's disease are no longer a death sentence. Scientists are hopeful that with careful research and regulation, genetic modification can become a tool for good, improving lives and reducing suffering. But the key lies in responsible use. However, genetic modification also opens up difficult ethical dilemmas. For example, should we allow genetic editing for enhancements like intelligence or physical appearance? What happens when people start designing babies to be perfect? This could lead to new societal divides, creating a gap between the genetically modified and the natural born. Furthermore, who decides which traits are acceptable to modify? Is it ethical to change a child's genetic makeup without their consent, even if it's for their benefit? As we look toward the future, the question remains, how far should we go with genetic modification in humans? Regulation will be crucial to prevent misuse, but will it be enough to address all the moral complexities? Genetic modification can benefit humanity, but only if guided by rigorous ethical standards and global cooperation. Genetic modification in humans offers incredible potential, but also presents significant ethical challenges. As this technology evolves, the choices we make today will shape the future of humanity. Should we push the boundaries of science, or are there limits that should not be crossed? The answer lies in a delicate balance between progress and ethical responsibility.
Thank you for joining us in this exploration of genetic modification and its ethical implications. The debate is just beginning.